like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to the home of the Big Red and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky and Bowling Green, as we'll see the national champions from last year, the Marshall Thundering Herd, taking on a team from Conference USA, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Hilltoppers will kick it away to start. He'll start the return inside his 5. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. So Marshall's offense will go on the attack first. And are we ever lucky to see these two great quarterbacks in action here today? And Jesse, it won't be long before we'll see them squaring off on Sundays.
Yeah, these guys can both stress a defense for similar reasons, and we've seen it all year long, right? Both guys have tremendous arm talent.
Turning it on! And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Marshall!
And these offensive coordinators tell you they want to start fast and they want to establish the run game. That is exactly what you did. First drive, you hand the football off, making the big explosive run, setting the tone for this football game.
And they did tack on the extra point. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Western Kentucky's offense will take the field for the first time. And they are coming off a sensational performance led by this quarterback who's hoping he can build on things, Jesse.
Well, I know, having played the position, when you have a big game, you just can't wait to get back out there again and build on that performance. David, last time out, he was making the right reads. He showed off his arm talent. He had this offense moving up and down the field and finding the end zone. And you know he's excited to take on this defense today.
Yeah, and talking to the defensive coordinators coming in this football game, like, they're not going to do what happened last week. Like, you can't sit back and make the coverages easy for him to diagnose. He'll pick you apart like he did last week. Look for some change-ups and some curveballs for this defense.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Quickly to the tight end. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
To the air, it's Perkins. Here comes the heat. Complete on the comeback. He steps out right at the 40-yard line, and now they are in business moving toward midfield. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. And the Hilltoppers are moving quickly down the field. Here's the handoff. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Hey, on offense, you got to know when the play's over. And that one there, nowhere to go with it after he caught the football. You start trying to juke guys. You start trying to run backward. This ain't high school anymore. I mean, you used to be able to make that play years ago. You're not doing it here in big-time college football, though. Not good.
On third down, he drops to throw. Fires to the wideout. That's reeled in. It's Baker. Now well within striking distance as that third down play gets them a first at the 29. The Hilltoppers come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his tight end. And that is good versatility there and a big hit from the backer in pass coverage. Backed up now, here's second and long. They'll run play action. Fires to the big fella. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on second down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, and I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks at a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a third down.
They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Operating in the red zone here on second down. Back to throw, it's Perkins. Quick strike complete. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
Got like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
Finds his big tight end. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on first down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's second and goal from the 5. Looking to fire. Bag's got it. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
Nice job by the defense, forcing the third and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
They're going to throw it on third and goal. Swings it out to his running back. Touchdown, Topper! A great catch and run for 6. Setting up for the extra point and the tie.
Love the thought process by the quarterback here on this play. Nobody open in the end zone. Find your check down. Find the running back. He does that, and once this guy's got the ball in his hands, he shows you that elusiveness and his ability to sniff out the end zone.
On the run from inside his own 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. Opening play of this drive comes from the 34. Plucks it out of the air. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Hard running there. There he goes. Gets it past the marker for a first down, and that's the way we will wrap up the first quarter. First play of the period, first down here. We've played one, and we are right back where we started, all tied up after the first period as we take a look at the stats. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see if someone can get the edge in the second quarter. Marshall with a fresh set of downs as we open the second period. Wants to go up top on first down. Keeps looking downfield. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
My old coach always used to say, don't turn a bad play into a catastrophe. He got flushed outside the pocket. Listen, it's okay. You can throw an incompletion. Don't create a turnover. Don't try to force it. At least the quarterback took care of the football.
They're dealing with a second and long. Red pass, it's complete. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. This Marshall offense putting together a nice drive. From the gun, the running back looking for room.
And you want to run the football, and that's okay. You'll take some of these, but if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Back to pass. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Really nice third down sub defense there that time. It's 3rd and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, now forcing the incompletion, setting up 4th.
So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. And he's going to bring it out. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here comes the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. They'll open this drive, hoping to move it down the field. A touchdown would give them the lead. To the air, it's Perkins. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Dell. A 7-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 3.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
And the Hilltoppers can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He'll do it himself. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. The Hilltoppers send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. The Marshall offense makes its way back onto the field. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
The give to the back. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the 1st down line? The Thundering Herd faces a 3rd and short. Power football with the run. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Makes a grab past the marker. Well, they just drained all the suspense out of the 4th down conversion, moving the chains easily.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again.
Unleashes one deep. Touchdown, Thundering Herd! Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
The Hilltopper offense comes onto the field again. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Catch in the middle, it's Baker. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. And the Hilltoppers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Looking to throw, it's Perkins. He's got his man across the middle. Breaks into the open. They got him free for a big gainer down to the 43. Looking to throw on 1st down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Looking to throw again. Snagged in the middle, it's Dalton. He's close to the 1st down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands, and you saw it on that last play.
To the ground to try to pick up the 1st. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on 3rd down. Now on 4th down, here comes the field goal team. That took every ounce of leg strength he had to sneak that one into the left corner. They're back to within a touchdown. 17-10 is the score.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg, 50-plus, and he did it with ease.
Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Marshall takes over the ball, the thundering Herd offense coming out. Basically everything they've tried has worked, scoring a couple of touchdowns and a field goal on their first 3 possessions. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got his man down the middle.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
Throws to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Timeout, Marshall. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking downfield on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his 2nd interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
Can't make the connection. Incomplete pass, and 1 second remains.
I love it. I'm never of the mindset, take a knee, go to the half, whatever, man. If I can try to find an opportunity to put some points on the board, I'm going to try to do it. I like the offense chucked it up, but, you know, an incompletion.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
All right, guys, looks like we've got a great atmosphere today in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And how can we begin our analysis of that first half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust its strategy, he could be headed towards a career day. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at LT Smith Stadium.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. Second half just about ready to go, and Marshall will kick it off. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Here comes the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. They start this third quarter one-possession game and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
Off play action. Caught over the middle. It's Dalton. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down.
And I love when you understand when I'm supposed to put some RPMs on that football. You could tell he's thrown over the middle of the field. He knows he's got defenders there. I got to throw this thing in there quick, fast, in a hurry. Nice job by the quarterback.
Smashes ahead. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45. They've built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you know I got a guy, when he gets in space, he can make big plays happen. Nice decision by the QB.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. It'll be third and long. Looking to throw, it's Perkins. Finds the tight end. They'll move the chains. Good execution on third down. They've got it at the 41. The Hilltoppers have it with a 1st and 10. To the air on first down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Got it behind the line. It's Baker.
I don't know if that's the coverage you want to be throwing wide receiver screens against. Oftentimes, you want the receivers to have some access. You want the DBs to be off a couple yards so you can help set up the blocks and give the receivers somewhere to go with it. It's hard to run that against press coverage, and they only picked up a few yards there.
Wants to throw again. Throws toward the end zone. Intercepted, and that's not how you want to start a half.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
What a huge call there. They had the turnover. Instead, the roughing the passer call takes it all away. And so the quarterback takes one for the team on the roughing the passer penalty, and it'll be first down. Give to the back. Really good running, gets it into the red zone, and they'll have it at the 16.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just...
And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Hilltoppers.
This guy has been an absolute force in this offense early this season, guys. We're only in the third game. He's already got 3 touchdown catches. Talk about a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses.
They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Marshall offense makes its way back onto the field. Their lead is gone, and they'll try to grab it back on this drive. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
I mean, getting suffocated right away. How about the DB? Just seeing that initially, pulling the trigger, getting to him, get him on the ground, get the tackle for a loss.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Snagged out of the air. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
First job for the QB a lot of times. Look at those safeties. Is it man or is it zone? Nice job. You could tell right away. He saw it was zone, understood where to go with the football, and that's why this offense had a positive gain right away.
Marshall now lines up trying to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And with that effort, they pick up a fresh set of downs. They have it at the 34-yard line. First down here for the offense.
That has got to be so demoralizing for the defense. You haven't been able to stop this guy all game long. And here on 3rd down, they're handing it off to him anyway because they don't think you can stop him. This defense right now, you see a lot of people hanging their heads a little bit because they're not playing with tons of confidence.
Oh, he's got some space. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. Marshall quick to the line.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Well, the quarterback was in a world of trouble there. He was under pressure. He knew he was going to get hit, so he's just trying to get rid of it, but he forced it into double coverage. He's lucky that was only an incompletion.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And he runs into a wall. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. Marshall comes to the line facing 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got his man quickly. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Herd! They take the lead with the 6.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Miami is running away with this one, thanks to an offense that may get its own 30 for 30 after this one. They're up by 17 over South Alabama. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They go to the ground. Plows through the defense. Turning it on! They needed to find enough space and get it moving forward, and they're up to the 22.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. They'll try it over the left side. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Guys, it is Marshall carrying the lead into the quarter break. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. He'll keep it on the sneak.
No gain on the play. Number 18 on to punt it away.
kick is in the air. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Marshall takes over the ball, the thundering herd offense coming out. And now that cushion is a little bit smaller, Jesse, and any mistake would get magnified.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now on this offense too, David. I think they got to go back to their playmakers and get these guys going in the game.
No doubt. Find those plays you know you can run them in your sleep. You make sure you execute. Build this lead a little bit bigger. Put this thing away in the fourth quarter.
That's why a good running game is a coach's and quarterback's best friend when you're trying to put the lid on the game. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. Up-tempo for the offense.
When the offense can run the football and you can feature a guy like this that will get more yards than his block, that you can really depend on, hangs on to the football, like it makes offense super easy, especially down the stretch when you want to eat that clock and you want to possess the football. Just nice to have that kind of guy.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
Marshall back at it with another 1st and 10. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Running through contact. And he finds his way out of bounds real close to the goal line there, knocking on the door.
Well, one of the best compliments you can pay a running back is they get stronger as the game goes on. This guy's been awesome all game long, and you're seeing it here in the 4th quarter.
And he'll finish the run and the end zone. Touchdown, Marshall! They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start.
And, man, a lot of times late in games, you see offenses, they get very conservative, very predictable, and then they leave it in the hands of their defense. I like this execution, man. The offense continues to do what they do, and they take the 2-score lead in the 4th quarter, everything going in their direction.
On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Hilltopper offense comes onto the field again. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Offense in a bunch formation. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
And these are these moments, man, when you're trailing by a couple possessions, you've got to put it together. Your quarterback has to come through. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's going to be passes. He's got to be smart. He's got to be quick with his decision-making, and they kind of got to be up near the line of scrimmage and be in a little bit of a hurry.
Now the play fake. Quickly out to the tight end.
How about that? Just really nice catch by the big tight end, throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
And the Hilltoppers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Back to pass, it's Perkins. Under fire. Got it in the middle, it's Baker. They got him free for a big gainer to the 43. They absolutely had to have that 3rd down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get to 3rd down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
Almost had a lot more room there, but he'll go out of bounds at the 36. The Hilltoppers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Off the play fake. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Throws for the tight end. It's complete. Just making a play getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
And even though they're trailing here in the fourth quarter, they've got a quarterback that can bring them back, but they need him now to play his A-plus level of football. We saw a nice completion on that last third down. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Tight end finds a soft spot. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Back to pass on second down. Snags it. They make the stop at the 2, but he's got enough to give them a first and goal. And the Hilltoppers want to crank the tempo. The snap sets up to throw. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, WKU. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
Well, he's a matchup nightmare because of his size and his speed. It's so difficult for defenses to defend this guy. Nice job there working the post route, really accurate throw, and it ends up being a touchdown.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? The returner will field it and try to do some business. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The Marshall offense makes its way back onto the field. They had to stand by and watch that scoring march, and now it's up to them to find a way to answer it. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Four wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Looking down the middle. Got his man downfield. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. This offense lines up feeling awfully good after that big play. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
Might as well keep pounding that rock at this point in the game, even though it's 2nd and 12. Leaves it with the back. Look out, he's got room. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. Once he got some room, it was over. That lead's a little more comfortable now as they close in on a victory here in week 3.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
He'll bring it back looking for help. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. Here comes the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. This drive will open from the 15. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, you know, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to throw, it's Perkins. Pulls it in, it's Dell. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. They'll try to get the first through the air. Got it in the middle, it's Baker. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. defense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the first down. They'll try to get it off quickly. Takes the easy completion. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
That's just not going to get it done, David. At this point of the game, you're trailing. You've got to pick up the urgency, and this offense is going to have to get more aggressive throwing downfield.
They're going to have to take shots, but I know that, right? The defense knows that. I'm going to stay deep, and I'm going to let you complete all these passes underneath because the clock running is my friend.
Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the catch. It's down. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line. Warp speed for second down. Fires to the wideout. He caught it. Oh, and he thought he might be able to wiggle his way into the end zone, but they knock him down at the 3. He spikes it. Clock stops as they try to rally late.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and goal.
Got nothing last time. Now second and goal from the 3. Looking for a man. It's Perkins. Trying to ball his way into the end zone for a touchdown, and here in the final minute, they still have a chance.
If we had any chance to make this happen, we had to score with a little bit of time on the clock. Now we need a miracle. Now we need to kick the onside, get an onside kick, and somehow, some way, make a big play.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. An 84-yard drive there, and they finish it up with a 3-yard scoring toss. Just under 40 seconds to go, and it's going to come down to whether they can get this onside kick to have a shot.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time, when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up.
There he goes. He makes the stop at the 33, but 10 yards on that play and a first down.
It's got to be tough right now on defense. You need to find a way to get a stop, and you haven't been able to do that in the fourth quarter. You've been giving up points. You just gave up a touchdown in the last drive. You need a turnover. You need to do something right now to stop this momentum.
Makes it past the marker. And he takes it in on the final play of the game. You play through the echo of the whistle, and they did that with the sealing touchdown.
In the end zone.
They won the game today. That's 2 in a row. If they win the next one, it's called a winning streak. It's been done before.
And we're seeing the identity of this team come into fruition. You just get the sense they're finding out who they are, what they're about, what they're going to do schematically, and who their big playmakers are.
Which is tough to do, right? It's tough to grow throughout a season and understand who you are